An investigation by the MEN has revealed hundreds of Mancunians are given paupers' funerals after dying alone and in poverty. Across Greater Manchester, more than 1,000 community services have been held by local authorities and hospitals over the past 5 years, with the dead sometimes being laid to rest in unmarked mass graves. Mike Gurney, Head of Environmental Services for Tameside Metropolitan Borough Council, explained how his team strive to give those who die interstate a dignified send-off.
I have noticed an increase in the community funerals, and this is where people have died where there's no family or there's no money available, whether it's just a sign of the times at the moment that people haven't got money and maybe social issues. I'm not too sure, but there has been an increase. I think in the last 12 months we've done 17 community funerals, which is a big increase on previous years. Quite often, obviously in these circumstances, we can't find family, we can't find friends, and we make sure that the deceased gets a dignified funeral. But quite often there's nobody attends these funerals, and they're not always elderly people either. The last one I did was only a 54-year-old gentleman, but I always do attend because I don't think it's right that nobody attends anybody's funeral really. So we do pay our respects.
Amy Glendinning researched and wrote the story for the MEN and talked about the plight facing some of the most destitute people in our city in death. But also she talked about how communities were banding together for those who die without a family.
So this story came about when I submitted FOI requests to each of the local authorities and health authorities in Greater Manchester. When the figures came back of the number of public funerals, or paupers' funerals as they more commonly used to be known, it just seems so tragic that some of these people are the region's poorest, and they've obviously become so isolated from families and friends that when they do pass away, there's no one there to give them the kind of funeral that maybe they would have wanted, or that the cost of funerals has gone up so much that family and friends just can't afford it. It's been really interesting finding out about some of the charities that obviously alongside the council try to track down people's relatives when they do die intestate and there's no records in their house, that immediately give contact details for relatives. It's an incredible thing to do, and it must be incredibly hard. I mean, some of these people will have lain dead and undiscovered in their houses for weeks, and the painstaking work to try and put relatives in touch with them is really important.
The rising cost of funerals also means more people are relying on the local authority. Elaine Rashty's estranged brother Andrew died in November, and she still doesn't know if she'll be given a grant for the funeral, as her brother's body lies in a mortuary.
Well, it's a nightmare. All I've done up to now is phone the funeral director. Obviously, I've not seen my brother for 4 years, so I've had to go through everything to find all his information out, and I found out that he was on benefits. So with him being on benefits, I've been in touch with the social services and, to see if they can help pay for the funeral. I said, I don't want Andrew to have to go through all that, but if needs be, then that's the way he'll have to have his funeral, because I can't afford to pay for him. Okay. I think something should be put forward, like some kind of fund. Something should be done. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, my brother's been in Stepping Hill Hospital since the 27th of November, and I don't know how long he's going to be there. We've gone into the new year, and it's supposed to be a new year, and I've still got to bury my brother. It's wrong.
In Manchester, around 70 community funerals are arranged each year, compared to a national average of 11. It's a sad snapshot of life and death for some of the city's poorest and loneliest people. This is John Sutton for menmedia.co.uk.